Let's face it, miners, they have gas. Welcome back for another Solo Mining, episode 95. We're going to be talking about faction modules and also just how to make yourself, uninteresting or not worth the ganker's time, right? Now, in most cases, you're going to get ganked just for ganking's sake. But today we're out in the Skiff. Because if you watched any of my other videos, you know that if I'm in the Skiff, I'm feeling particularly lazy. But I wanted to kind of cover the whole faction module thing. I don't think I've actually covered it in recent history. And also gas, which is gear acquisition syndrome. And I suffered from this and until I decided that, the fancy, new, and crazy expensive min-maxed fits were just not worth it. There is but one exception to this, and that is the ore ice miners. I will use those, but also I don't mind ice. Usually in high sec, I usually do all my ice in null sec, where you have a lot more control of the situation. So let's talk about how cheaper fits, while they can be lower yield, can be better for you, right? Most gankers are going to scan you. They're going to do some recon. They're going to see if it's worth it, right? And in the off chance that you drop something that's valuable, a module that's valuable, it makes the entire endeavor more worth it to them. All the ship cost and everything that they're sacrificing to get, a few 100 million off of you makes the entire thing completely worth it. Now, I like running, pretty tanky mining ships. So, for instance, this dude right here that we're running, Mr. Skiff, is definitely not, out there trying to be super yield. That's because we got a power dio system and then a damage control on here. But if we simulate this guy, 118, you can go even higher than this if you wanted to. But whenever I'm feeling particularly lazy, or I just don't really want to worry too much about, spamming D-scan or constantly watching local, I'm usually going to be in something that's high EHP with no faction modules on it at all. Now, even if you're running something with high EHP, if you're running faction modules, they will make the effort to make sure they maybe get some of those drops off of you. So we're going to kind of look at it too a little bit. We're going to take this fit, we're going to sim it, put some faction on it, and look how the price kind of jumps up and everything. I used to swear by ore harvesters and faction lows and stuff like that, but it just got way too expensive, and it was easier to actually manufacture my own modules in null instead of waiting to source faction modules from Jita. And then and also just the resale value on faction modules is kind of wonky, right? If you ever need to offload ore strip miners or anything like that, then it can take you a little while to actually get rid of them, because a lot of people have already kind of figured out that running a cheaper fit with more tank and making it a little bit less of a valuable target is better. So we're going to use this Skiff today for the example, but this goes across the board for coveters, for retrievers, for no matter what you're fitting. I've seen somebody could literally fit a coveter with ores and faction lows. The the coveter was worth I want to say 4 or 5 bill, and that was several years ago. There's no reason to do that. It's the module's total value should never be more than the hull's value, as a kind of a rule of thumb. So for this fit right here, you're looking at about 368 million for this. A lot of that cost is in the hull itself, but let's go ahead and just kind of make this expensive. So 300, what did we say, 368? So we can go in here and go to hardware. We can go to our highs here, go to our harvesting equipment, and let's say we're doing this for ore here. We're just going to throw some strip miners on here. It already jumped up double, 771 million on that, and we're not even done yet. Let's say you want to go even crazier with the lows. Now, that's not to say that these modules are not worth it. They are worth it. The ore strip miners give more range. They're better on CPU. They're great for maybe null sec or doing anomalies where or moon mining when things are really kind of far out there, if you're really trying to min-max distance. But I would say for the most part, you're better just going off with just regular Tech 2 modded or Tech 2 strips or something like that. Alright, now let's go to Lowe's here. Mining upgrades, we can go down here to these the faction ones. Now there's a couple here. These would be like the more on the cheaper side. These are going to give you a mining amount bonus 9 and a CPU penalty 6. And then the other ones for ore are here. So these are 10 and 8. These are better on CPU and also better on mining. So if you really want to go, we'll go Carpo actually first. We'll go all, let's say we go all full Carpo on this. 1.1 bill on those. Now let's go to see what the other ones are doing up on here. The AODs, I guess you could say AODs, I don't know how to say that. Now, see, we can't even fit these with this tank, right? We have to actually bring some stuff off, but you can already see 3.4 billion, not worth it at all. I mean, these things are, what, 867 million right now. So as you can see, faction modules, that number you see, that value when they ship scan you, that is going to be like, they're like, hell yeah. If you're running the harvesters and the lows, and that's 5 chances for them to, you know, get at least one of those drops and make the catalyst or whatever they're throwing at you, those, you know, those losses to be worth it. Which is why I always just go with cheap builds now, and everything. I want to see if I actually have. We got a rat here interrupting my fun. I want to talk about ice mining a little bit once we get this rat down, because I did say at the beginning of the video, the ore ice harvesters are actually worth it in my opinion, because regular Tech 2 ice harvesters are just really horrible for CPU. Let me get my targets back up here. We're actually almost full. Look at me. I'm just like talking and shit. We get like one more quarter cycle and then we'll be good to go. But we'll kind of get through the rest of this pretty quick. I wanted to kind of just touch on this as much as possible. Let's go to fits. See if I have an exhumer. I don't think I have an exhumer ice. So, but we can quickly mod this one to be ice. So we can throw all this stuff off. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up for just regular, you know, like I would in null, you know, regular ice. And then we can kind of cross-reference it and everything with, you know, why I would run the factions here. So Ice Harvester 2s, you can see like, oh man, like that is ridiculous. And well, like, if we take these off actually and go with or Ice Harvesters, it's a little bit more manageable. This is a lot more tank than you'd fit on like something like out there like that. You could probably go like a damage control. I used to run all like mining laser upgrades and stuff like that. I just don't like to do that anymore. So I think this would be actually a pretty decent fit here. So you got, you know, 2 of the Ice Harvester 2s, and then you have the ore ice, and this is just right on the money, right? You got about 4.9 CPU left, but if we come back off of these ores and we go in for just regular Tech 2s, yeah, they're very difficult to fit without sacrificing tank, and that's really what it comes down to. And in nullsec, it's not really about like tanking against a gank, because they're going to be running a huge fleet. So it's actually more about tanking against like the, you know, if you got like 3 battleship rats showing up, tanking through that so that you can take them down with drones and things like that. And also you would have less tank even from these extenders, because you'd be running a an ice mod or something. You could also, you know, say, well, let's run like, you know, Tech 1s. You're still going to be over, right? You have to drop like another upgrade to fit the 1s. And if you fit 2s, you can do it. But that's why you could probably actually even go back to like even the low configuration I'm using now for this one, which would be a powered diagnostic system 2 down here, and you'd be good to go. Like if I was going to do ice right now, regardless of it's null or high sec, I would probably be running the same low I'm doing right now for mining. Get that damage control, get that that power diagnostic system, get that, you know, ice harvester upgrade 2. You still get that tank, and you don't have to worry about costs. You see that's 365 for ice on this, but even if we go with the ore ice harvester on this, then we're up to 762, which is, makes this a really really attractive. That does allow you to get another upgrade on there, but you're still looking at almost 3/4 of a billion on that. So the purpose of this video, I don't want to run too long. I just really wanted to do this episode to address the faction module. Keeping ships cheap, even if it means sacrificing yield, if that means someone's gonna say, nah, let's go find another guy that has more value on him, it's all worth it, right? But anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comments how you feel about the faction modules and stuff. If I've kind of hit home, if you've ever lost a ship with faction modules, or if you ever feel like you've lost a ship because you've had faction modules on. Let's open up that discussion here in the comments. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member. And like always, fly safe, keep those lasers on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.